machine of insane power.
For 40 years, the BMW M3 formula was simple. A roaring petrol engine, rear-wheel drive, and a manual gearbox if you were lucky. It was the absolute benchmark for every sports saloon on Earth. If you wanted to see what driving purity looked like, you looked at an M3. But look at this. This is the future. It has 4 electric motors, it might pack over 800 horsepower, and it is completely silent. Is this a masterpiece of modern engineering? Or have the purists just been handed their worst nightmare? The car community is completely split down the middle. Let's talk about the upcoming, highly controversial, all-electric BMW M3. Let's start with the design, because BMW has been on an absolute roller coaster lately. First, they gave us the massive beaver teeth grills that everyone loved to hate, then tall skinny ones, and now they've gone completely flat. At first glance on camera, it looks a bit odd, almost like a handlebar mustache glued to the front bumper. But if you stand back and look closer, BMW is actually playing a very clever trick. They are desperately trying to make this high-tech spaceship look like the legendary 1980s E30 M3. They want to trigger your nostalgia to make you forget there isn't a combustion engine under the skin. Notice how the nose slants forward at the front? That's the classic BMW shark nose from the old 6 Series. See those bright yellow daytime running lights? They used to be reserved only for ultra-exclusive hardcore CS models, but now they are front and center. And check out the wheels. They feature a modern mesh pattern that directly mimics the old school BBS rims from the original racing era. It's a brilliant way to bridge the gap between the past and the future, even if it takes a minute to get used to. But don't let the retro touches fool you. The rest of this bodywork is radical. There are no traditional door handles anywhere on the car because they aren't even allowed in certain global markets anymore. Instead, there's just a tiny aerodynamic fin on the window frame to pop the door open. The mirrors have been reshaped into sharp vertical wings just to slice through the wind better and cut down on cabin noise. Even the roof has a story. It looks like carbon fiber, but it's actually made from an ecologically sourced flax plant weave. It's unlacquered, raw, and matte finished, just like a modern race car, to save weight and reduce the carbon footprint of making it. And around the back, it looks like it's had a monumental butt lift. Instead of a normal spoiler, you get 2 giant ducktail wings split right down the middle, and the lower diffuser is so massive and hollowed out that you could practically park a bicycle inside it. It creates an unbelievable amount of negative space. But here is the best part. There are no fake exhaust pipes, no plastic cosmetic cover-ups. BMW is being completely honest here. There's no engine, so they aren't going to play pretend with fake chrome tips. Step inside and it gets even wilder. The central touchscreen is shaped like a tilted parallelogram. Why? Because back in the day, classic BMW dashboards were always angled toward the driver to make you feel like you were piloting a fighter jet. It ignores the passenger entirely to focus on the person holding the wheel. You don't look through the steering wheel to see your speed like a normal car. You look over it. Your speed, lap times, and tire temperatures are projected directly onto a panoramic display at the base of the windshield, so your eyes never have to leave the tarmac. But the real talking point is right down here in the center console. Underneath a piece of glowing crystal is a visible bank of microchips. BMW literally calls this the heart of joy. Instead of having a dozen different computer brains in the car arguing with each other over traction, brakes, and power, they have consolidated everything into this one single super brain. The result? It reads what the chassis is doing and reacts 10 times faster than any BMW on the road today, making the car feel completely natural instead of digital. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The driving experience. Purists hate EVs because they feel heavy, linear, and completely silent. To fix this, BMW is taking a page out of the modern EV playbook. They've added paddle shifters that don't actually change gears, because there are no gears. Instead, the computers will simulate artificial shifts by briefly pausing the power delivery, giving you that old-school mechanical jolt in the back. They've even digitized old V10 and inline-6 engine notes to pump a futuristic spaceship warble through the speakers. Because it has a motor powering every single wheel independently, the handling boundaries are completely rewritten. It can give you maximum four-wheel drive grip to rocket off the line, or you can flick a setting, disconnect the front axle entirely, and turn it into a rear-wheel drive tire-shredding smoke machine. It is a drift angle on demand type of car. BMW knows they are playing with fire here. They know the badge carries a lot of weight. That's why they're hedging their bets. When this car launches, they will actually sell two different M3s side by side. A traditional twin-turbo petrol hybrid keeping the straight six alive, and this all-electric mega saloon. It's going to be a cold, hard sales data battle to see if M fans can truly be converted to electricity. But tell me in the comments below, if you had £100,000 to spend, would you embrace the 800 horsepower electric future, or are you sticking with petrol until the very end? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our first drive, and I'll see you in the next one.